Yeah, dude. So, fuck, dude. Just like you're saying, man, your body gets fucking soft.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. If you're not training, taking those shots. I was talking to somebody. Sorry, turn off my alarm. I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was asking him. I was like, when you stop fighting, because he currently fights, and his name is Jordan Dowdy. I just had him on the podcast, and
Sounds familiar.
I was asking him like, when you stop fighting, are you going to keep striking, or because most people like they do one or the other.
Right.
Like if they
Right.
do fight, like they'll stop and then they'll do either striking or they'll lead more towards jujitsu.
Hmm.
But not many people typically like
Keep
regularly
it.
train both.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he said he would, but yeah, I'm all about the jujitsu. But you
Yeah.
chose the striking route.
I'm, and from my experience, I think it all those years of all these different martial arts and me, I guess transitioning into jujitsu would be me stepping out of my comfort zone. You know, me being older. Granted, it could possibly help me, or shit, it could be the death of me. Depending on the situation. I mean, I'm a self defense instructor, so
Yeah.
you know, I figure a lot of times uh, if you can't finish something and finish, I guess defending yourself within hell a few seconds, then pretty much you kind of
Yeah.
it's that luck of the draw, moment.
Yeah.
You don't know what to do after that. But yeah, man, I don't know. The older I get, I don't know what what works best for me. So that's why I always just tend to just keep on, I guess, researching.
Yeah. Trying a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we're in a time today though with MMA, it's kind of shown which ones are kind of most effective.
Hmm.
I feel like there's maybe some things to take away from most of them. There's little things to maybe add in here and there, one or two things. But I think from like a foundational standpoint, it's kind of already shown which ones work the best, man. Like wrestling, jujitsu, Muay Thai, like those are pretty foundational.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think of the best way to say it. When those are key martial arts, that tend to be the most effective. But in society, majority of the time, if someone sees you doing those things, then they've already prepared themselves for the worst. So and you kind of get what I'm saying. It, like okay, St. Louis.
Yeah,
Okay, majority of the people in St. Louis, I say vast majority, have some form of boxing. Some form of like a boxing background, or someone in their family knows how to box.
yeah,
Then somehow, some way, they picked up a little bit. Whether it's dirty boxing, whether it's just throwing a few punches a certain type of way, but it's boxing. Okay, that's where they got it from. So stand up, throwing strikes, throwing punches. That's what a pretty decent amount of people in St. Louis are used to. But when you learn something totally different, whether it's karate, whether it's Muay Thai, whether it's Kung Fu, you're that black sheep of the St. Louis community. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So when you step up to that person that has that idea of how a fight should be,
yeah.
then
Just like a basic idea of just like throwing hands and
yeah,
just get in there. Yeah,
and
we are a boxing town. Most people,
yeah.
I mean, a lot of people know how to fight for sure. But you think everybody knows how to box? I feel like a
No,
lot of
no,
people
no,
don't
no.
know
Not
anything.
everybody knows how to box. I'm
Right.
saying that's the mentality a lot of people have in St. Louis.
Okay.
It's not necessarily oh, I'm going to go ahead and get him with this 1-2 and shit like that. No, I'm not talking like that.
Yeah.
I'm saying that's the idea. That's the mentality that people have in the St. Louis community
Mm.
is if we get into a fight,
Yeah.
this is what we got,
Right.
and that's it.
Right.
So a lot of people that I guess do the same thing, they don't expect the other thing to,
Yeah.
to be shown. So what's going to end up happening that I see a lot of a lot of MMA, once it solidifies itself in the world, there's going to be something else totally different and more effective
More
than
effective than MMA?
I think so.
I wonder what that would look like.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
at the same time, just like how you said, in it is mixed martial arts because I mean, hell, I did it. But
Right.
with that, you have they've taken certain things
Right.
out of
A little
all
bit
these.
from
Yeah,
everything and combined it.
exactly.
Yeah.
So what happens when everyone knows it? What happens when uh, everybody has this idea of the way that you should fight?
Yeah.
This these it's a certain type it's a rule of engagement now,
Yeah.
you guys once people start combating, what happens when that person possibly does something totally different, stab a cat in the eye,
Yeah,
anything,
I think the thing to remember is there are no rules of engagement if you're like legitimately like in a conflict like
right.
in the streets
But if
and
you have that structure,
yeah,
that base
that could
where it's, you got
yeah,
got that stance
that
and
can
you
mess
got
people
that.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you get yeah, like you said, like you get trapped into thinking that if you
Right.
do get into a confrontation, maybe like in an alley somewhere, that
Hmm.
this dude is going to be playing by the same rules as you are. That can
Exactly.
get somebody hurt for sure,
Yeah,
for sure.
and it goes both ways. Whether it's uh, just straight striking, whether it's MMA,
Yeah,
whether it's jujitsu, whether it's kung fu.
yeah,
You know, martial arts is martial arts.
right,
Now, self defense, self defense.
yeah,
So there there just like you said, there aren't any rules of engagement. When it comes down to protecting yourself.
right,
But when it comes down to sport, there are rules.
right.
And that's the whole thing. That was kind of one of the reasons why I kind of stepped away from it a little bit because shit, all these years, man, I always had rules.
Hmm.
I have a lot of rules, from kung fu tournaments to I used to I used to sneak my ass into a lot of karate tournaments. They used to have a lot of
Hmm.
Budweiser tournaments in St. Louis in the '90s, and man, I used to go there and everybody arrogant as hell,
Hmm.
and they like, yeah, I can kick high, I can do all these little kicks and do all these acrobatic things, but they were fighting the same person that did the exact same thing as them.
Right.
But then if they stepped out of that, they might get lucky on the street, might.
Hmm.
But if they stepped out of that and they weren't used to fighting the exact same person that knew the same thing,
Right.
they're out of their comfort zone. And then next thing you know, they're either getting their ass handed to them or they're becoming the victor. I feel that if you are a martial artist, you should fight and you should combat with people that do not know the exact same thing as you. So you can prepare yourself for any situation. That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
Training all day with your peer, with the person that knows what you do. I mean that I'm trying to get the words out.
You're
I'm just
good.
waking up too.
You're good, bro. You're all good.
So when you text me, I was like, oh shit. Yeah, man, I'm good.
Time to wake up,
I'll
bro.
be there.
Dang, I'm an
So
early riser, dude.
yeah, I am too. That's the thing, and so it kind of took me by surprise when you texted me. I'm like, damn, I'm actually asleep. But but what I was trying to say was, if you're training, let's say in karate,
Yeah.
and then you have another one of your peers that's training in the same thing,
Right.
definitely go at it, have at it. Enhance your fighting ability with that martial art, with that other person. But at the same time, do not forget every situation is different. Everybody doesn't fight like that other person. Everybody doesn't fight like how you fight in your dojo, and along with all the other students that are in your dojo, and venture off. You know, figure something else out. Choose someone else to combat. Don't try to beat their ass. I'm just saying, train with them.
Kind of test yourself.
Yeah, test yourself out. See what techniques work for this particular situation because it may work for that situation or it may not. I used to when I was younger, I had a group of buddies. That I mean everybody did all kinds of shit. I had a buddy that did ninjutsu and true form ninjutsu, not the TV shit where you throwing smoke bombs out and shit, all that, and throwing ninja stars. No, it was hand to hand. I had hand to hand combat. I had a gentleman, rest in peace. His name's Donald Mills, and he was kung fu.
Yeah.
And then I had another rest in peace gentleman of mine, a real good friend of mine, Jonathan Edwards. We called him Red, and he was Taekwondo, and he was Salat.
What's Salat?
It's Indonesian.
Okay.
Indonesian martial art. As a matter of fact, what was it? What was the movie? The Raid. Remember that?
Yeah, dude, it's a badass movie.
It's a dope ass movie.
Dude, it's so fucking good.
Dude, I love that movie.
Oh my gosh, the choreography in that was insane.
When they're doing all, oh man, dope. I mean, and he did that. So
it's kind of like Thai based.
No, it's. I'd say it's closer to kung fu.
Well, I guess I meant like we're at in like Indonesia.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay. No worries.
I wouldn't know. But yeah, the way they move, it's more fluid.
Okay.
You know, it's not as it's not a hard style.
Okay.
You know, but yeah, man, he did that, and my buddy, the other gentleman, kung fu, and then you had ninjutsu. Then I had a friend. Well, I still have a friend. His name's Brian Holland, and he did something called pancration.
Okay.
And are you familiar with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Yeah, did pancration.
Okay.
And I learned. We'd all gather around at a park or something and just go at it.
Yeah.
You know, and being younger, it worked. But older, you know, you limit yourself in the amount of things that you do. You know, because you understand the repercussions of what you're throwing out there. You know, so if you end up hitting somebody, you know, you're at a younger age, you're really not tripping off the fact that, damn, I might actually hurt this dude for real.
Yeah.
Or if somebody else is throwing something, they're in the same mindset. Now I get hit.
Yeah.
I won't pay attention. I'm like, damn, I can't breathe good. I feel a little bit of pee coming out.
Dude,
I don't
different
know.
perspective for sure, bro.
That's why they always. I never understood when I got old. I mean, when I was younger, the older you are, the wiser you get. No, you just don't want to get hit.
That's a part of it.
That's a part of the wisdom, I guess. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you don't
dude.
want to get hit, and you don't want to take in that damage, man, because hell, you got to go to work. You know, you got to do all kinds of other stuff. But.
Dude, I read this thing from Dean Thomas the other day. Do you know who he is? He's a dude, like an MMA legend. He does a lot of training these days. He works with like Tyron Woodley and a whole bunch of like other top level fighters. And he was saying like, you know, when you're young and like 25, like you see that guy across the cage, you just want to eat his eyeballs.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God.
It's like you just want to, you know, but then there becomes a point to where it's like, you know, you see that guy and then you'd much rather like take him out to dinner and talk it out than eat his eyeballs. And like that's when you know it's time to walk away.
That's when you know.
Yeah, there's definitely a mental shift.
I can easily vouch for that one, dude.
Oh, I get it too.
To the fullest.
Yeah.
I went in wanting to prove something to myself.
Yeah, I get that external validation.
Yeah, and I'm not a competitive person, never really have been. So if I did ever lose a fight, I really wouldn't trip off of it. Everybody else around me, damn, dude, you could have won. You could have sat there. It's a sport, man.
Yeah.
It's a game to me, you know, from all these years of me doing tournaments. Not necessarily just MMA. But, yeah, man, I went in, and it was weird because I went in during a divorce.
Okay.
And I needed an outlet.
Yeah,
you know,
I get that.
You know, and
there.
and so yeah, man, I went in mad, you know, pissed off. Dude looking at me over across the way, like, yeah, I'm gonna hurt this dude. Not in my life. So, and shoot, I'll be over there, and as soon as that cage closed, you already know the feeling. It's like it's anxiety. You know?
Yeah, bro, but there's no turning back.
Oh no, you can turn back.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can. I just seen it happen.
Fucking pussy.
Yep.
You cannot turn
Yes.
back. You were fucking dude. You know what? Dude,
I've
there's
seen
this guy
it twice.
Yeah, dude. Dude, there's this guy on my team.
Uh-huh.
He was a savage. His name was Lance Benoist,
Okay.
and he ended up making it to the UFC. But as an amateur, bro, he showed up to a fight. It's fight day, and he's back there hitting pads. His opponent sees him hit pads and leaves.
Yeah.
What the
Yeah.
fuck, dude? I've had people come and like talk shit at weigh-ins and then not show up the next day to fight. I've had that
Yeah.
happen. I don't get it.
I
There's no turning back, bro.
anxiety is a motherfucker, and fear is too. One of my biggest things in my studio, I try to tell my clients is fear is false evidence appearing real.
Uh-huh.
Because even though he was throwing them hitting that bag real hard through that whole time, he might have been scared. You know what I'm saying? He
Well,
might
that
have been
guy was a
doing.
murderer. He
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah, I mean, but
it
you
was
know what
probably
I'm
better
saying.
that guy left.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying.
But no, I
Like,
get it. Yeah, they're going through the same thing you are, dude. They're just
yeah,
human too.
and like I say, man, when I went in, it was one of those things. I went in, I was upset, I was angry.
Yeah.
I needed an outlet. I didn't like not having control of my mental stability.
Mm.
So I needed to figure something out.
Yeah, you don't want to fight angry.
Yeah, yeah. And then when the cage closed and I actually saw him, I was like, I could do this because it's not like a kickboxing match. MMA is it's just not because you fight you're not going that 12 rounds. You're going that 3 rounds. And it's like before they even say go, you've already fought shit damn near you've already fought those 3 rounds before you even threw a punch. That's the way it feels. That's how for me it does.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Like
damn,
the
I'm
adrenaline
tired.
and the
Yeah, I'm like,
anxiety
fuck,
and
I'm tired.
that
Oh
dump
shit.
and yeah,
Yeah.
I get it.
Oh damn, he's coming towards me, you know. But
Hmm.
yeah, dude, I'm that's the way I used to feel. And after my very first fight, the next fight, my father told me, he was like, fight your fight, you know, and that kind of based me and gave me a little bit more control of what I was doing. So I was a lot more technical, you
Hmm.
know, and I fought my own fight because actually went into MMA by mistake. I thought I was going into a Muay Thai tournament,
Hmm.
and I went into this. It was like a biker bar. It was in Sedalia, Missouri.
Hmm.
So,
Yes.
okay,
Yep.
okay, yeah, Sedalia, Missouri, and I went in, and I'm like, okay, I had a month to prepare. I'm thinking, I mean, I'm on the bag, low roundhouse. I'm gonna
You thought
tag
you were
him.
doing Muay Thai?
Yeah, I thought I was gonna do Muay Thai. That's what the promoter told me.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't happy about it. I could eat. Ooh, man, I could. I was just like, man, I can't believe this shit's about to happen. I walked in.
You still decided to fight anyway?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Because what'd you say? Pussy.
Yeah. You don't fucking turn around.
Yeah. So when I went in, I looked and I was like, it's a cage there. And so
Okay.
I thought it was like an exhibition.
Sometimes you can fight in a cage though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've seen it happen. You know,
Hmm.
I've actually been to a couple of them. I'm like, okay, the exhibition fight.
Yeah.
You know, and I've fought MMA in a boxing ring.
Hmm.
You know,
Right.
so over in Illinois, and yeah, man, I walked in, I was like, okay, cool, you know, not a real big deal. And then I look over in the far corner, and you got all these guys shooting, you know, shooting for a takedown, and all these other fighters, you know, doing kind of the same thing, and I'm like, I can't be the only kickboxer here.
So you're strictly stand up at this point.
Yeah,
No
strictly
wrestling or
stand up.
jiu-jitsu or anything.
Nothing.
No experience.
Not a single goddamn thing.
Oh
Nothing.
wow.
So I walked over to the promoter and I asked him. I was like, "Hey, am I the only kickboxer? Where's my fighter?" And he's like, "He over there." And I was like, "I know what I have to do with this got the dude in the chokehold, his trainer." And he was like, "Yeah, that's him."
Dang.
My father was there too. He was
Yeah.
like, "Hey," he was like, "Hey, man, look like these cats doing that MMA shit." And I was like, "Yeah, I know. And apparently I am too." He was like, "What?" And sure enough, he said, "Whew, yeah, it look like you about to get something." He's very honest. He's brutally honest sometimes, but yeah, he's like, "Look like you about to do some work." And I
Yeah.
was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, shit, just do what you do.
Yeah.
And that was it. Do what I do. And I went for what I knew. And with me doing what I do, I was confident.
Yeah.
And that was one of the biggest things that I found out in MMA is confidence. You know, if you're confident in your techniques, then you can use your techniques to the fullest of their ability.
Yeah.
You know, and so if you got that one punch, you know, that one punch, if you're confident enough with that one punch, you're going to use that one punch that you have to the fullest of your capability. You know, whether it's that knee, low roundhouse, side kick, whatever you have that you're really, really confident about, you know, you should really, really endorse it in the ring. You know
The
what I'm
trap for
saying?
that though is if they solve that fucking that one little
Oh yeah, yeah, it
that one
sucks.
puzzle piece you got,
Yeah, yeah, it sucks. I
then
mean,
you're
but
fucked.
that's what I'm saying.
But it's
It's a
good to be
confident thing.
confident for
Yeah, you
sure.
know. Granted, you might get your ass handed to you.
Yeah,
9 times out of 10, you
probably.
still will. But
Yeah. How long ago is this?
I my first fight, I think it was in '06.
Oh six.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think '06, '07, something like that.
Yeah.
And then I think I did it for about off and on about 6 years.
Okay.
And then after that, I was just like, nah.
Yeah.
I lost a few, and I was like, I just didn't
Yeah.
feel it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It wasn't fun no more.
Wasn't the path to pursue for sure.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I didn't. I looked towards the future, and I was like, dude, I can't see myself doing this for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
You know, and it just went there.
Yeah.
And later on, because I was a bouncer too. I was a bouncer for some of the clubs. Well, shit, majority of the clubs in St. Louis. And I got one of the bartenders. They had asked me to show them a couple of techniques.
Yeah.
You know, and I showed them, and then she ended up getting in contact with a few of her friends. You know, and then I'll show them. You
Yeah.
know, and then over time,
This is kind of how you started your
yeah.
like your teaching career
Mhm.
with self defense.
Yep.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah. So
It's funny how it works, man.
yeah,
You just
man.
kind of close one chapter, roll right into the next, and just start snowballing.
Right.
Right.
And then after that, it was another gentleman it was a gentleman that I met. That was I think a VIP host. He wasn't a bartender. I can't remember exactly what it
No,
was,
no worries.
but
All the
he was an
details
actor.
just
Yeah,
fucking
dude,
blend.
it's been
just
so much,
It's just
dude.
one big movie.
Yeah, and he actually came to me. And he was like, "Dude, hey man, how you do that move that you did on these guys at this at the club?" And I was like, "I can show you." He was like, "Yeah, because I want to use it in a film that I'm in."
Mm.
And then I was like, "I'll show you." You know, I trained him for it, and next thing you know, I'm meeting him at the shoot. He ain't there at all.
Really?
Dude, they had, man, it was a full spread of food. They had the director there. He ain't show up, and I'm like, dude, what the hell going on? You had the director, and it was a local film, and you had the director. He kind of looked like Patrick Stewart with the hair like here,
Yeah.
but it was kind of curly, and he was doing the typical stereotypical pulling his shit out and pulling his hair out because he was freaking out because he was that guy was the main character.
Yeah. It's like, where the hell is he?
Yeah, and it sounds so cliche and it sounds like a sitcom, but it actually happened. It was like 2 hours before his scene. He wasn't nowhere to be found. They're calling him, so I called him later, and he finally picks up the phone. And he like, hey, what's going on, dude? And he's loud. You hear in the background like, pop, 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 pop. I'm like, what the hell is that? Dude was on a helicopter. He was touching down for The Walking Dead.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Yeah. I was like, dude, where you at? He was like, oh yeah, yeah.
He's like, what had happened was I just got this really good deal,
Yeah.
and fuck y'all.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there like, dude,
Wow.
for real? And he was like, yeah, you're over there? He was like, man, just leave. I was like, no, man, I ate all they donuts and shit. I can't do that. And,
Can't just eat and run.
right. And I even I made me a black. I mean, I didn't make the black shirt, but I got a black shirt and I got some stencils and I put stuntman. on it and everything. And the director was like, "Hey," because I told him I was like, "Hey man, he ain't showing up," and he was like, "Oh fuck," because they had a pretty decent production.
Had they already started filming at this point?
Yeah,
So they
yeah.
had already
They
all
had
this
already had
film
it
with this
ready,
guy.
man. Had green screen everywhere, and it was cool. But I wish I could give the name because it never actually came out.
Oh, okay,
But
no worries.
but the director was he was like, "Hey, you know his moves, don't you?" Like one of those sitcoms. He's like, I was like, "Yeah." While I'm looking over there at the bear claw, sitting there getting ready to chomp down on it, and I was like, "Yeah, I do." And because I canceled my whole day, I was like, "Shit, I ain't doing nothing. Chill here." And he was like, "Here are your lines. If you wanna do it." And I looked around. I was like, "All right, I'll do it. There ain't no problem." Did it. They loved it. The director was really arrogant and he would boast and brag.
Hmm.
So he ended up telling his circle of friends that he had a fight coordinator, a fight choreographer. And I was like, I ain't nothing like that. Next thing you know, people started calling me, and then they would ask me questions, or they'd say, "Hey, is it possible you can meet me here? I got an actor here. I want to see how they can pan out,
Hmm.
doing a certain amount of techniques." And then next thing you know, I'm getting a couple of checks, and I'm like,
That's what's up.
huh. And I got on social media. I was like, "Hey, hey, everybody, hey, I'm thinking about teaching self defense, and I'm fight choreography for now." And everybody that I knew when I was growing up was like, "Dude, it's about damn time, dude. We got kids now, man. Hey, let's go ahead and can we bring them over to you?" And at that time, I was in parks. I was just doing stuff in parks, and then I
Yeah.
moved them over into my home, and then that's where I met actually Bodine.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Dang.
he was one of my very first students.
That's what's
Yeah.
up.
So and yeah, moved him there. Well, moved into the house, and then got a studio in Creve Coeur over time, and was working at a car dealership as a service advisor. And while I had that studio, got fired from there because they just didn't like all the stuff that I was doing,
Hmm.
um, and I never looked back. And that had to been at least 10 years ago,
Okay.
8 or 10. No, about 10 years ago. Yeah.
Going
So
a decade strong. So at
yeah.
that point, how long had you had? So you kind of went through the whole journey. How long have you been doing like martial arts at that point?
Uh, at that point, I mean,
Like 20 plus years in at that point, right? I
yeah,
mean,
because I've been in martial arts since I was 5.
okay.
So yeah.
Yeah. So what? So you started at 5. What was it? Karate?
No, no,
What was it?
no. I went
That's how
karate.
most people start. That's how I started.
Ain't it? Ain't
Yeah.
it? Or you hear somebody say, "Oh yeah, man. I used to do karate." I'm like, "How long ago?" They in their 40s. Man, I think I was about 6. I'm like, "You
Yeah.
rotten son of a bitch." Stop this conversation. But
Yeah.
no, it was kung fu. I
Okay.
love kung fu, dude. Between Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee, you couldn't tell me nothing.
How'd you find a kung fu instructor?
Oh, well, at that
That's
time,
what I'm saying.
it was a lot. It
Really?
was, it was a decent amount of
Really?
kung fu
You're from here in
schools.
St.
Yeah,
Louis,
I'm
so
from,
there's a good amount here in
yep,
the city.
University City. Yep.
Okay.
They had one called Sing's Kung Fu on Olive. And
And
then,
Olive. That actually does kind of make sense.
yeah,
That area over there.
yeah, multicultural, big old melting pot. It
Yeah.
was there, and then you had a lot of kempo schools. Then you had karate schools. I think they had a ninjutsu school called Three Rivers. And then my place, before it shut down at that time, in the '90s, it was the Multi Arts Academy,
Hmm.
and it was based like out in St. Charles. But they had a multitude of different instructors. That one guy, he taught American kickboxing. Another instructor, he taught boxing. Another instructor taught Muay Thai, and he was just stepping in. And then, as far as the kung fu, uh, I learned in the same spot. So, and then I had two friends of mine that did it as well, but they
Yeah.
did totally different forms. So it was cool. He taught me something called
Hmm.
long fist kung fu, and
What's that?
It's a honestly, it's another form of kung fu. Kung fu has so many. You have five animal. You have long fist kung fu. You have what's another one? Uh, shit.
Just all these different
It's
styles.
so many, and it always goes back to the exact same thing. It's
They all
still
have the
kung
same
fu.
foundation, though.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So it's
That's what's
just a
up.
totally different form.
So you've done a lot of striking arts,
Yeah.
just all of it. Yeah.
Hmm.
Did you compete in like boxing or anything like that? Did
No,
you ever do like Golden Gloves or
no.
no? Just a lot of martial arts tournaments growing up.
It's a funny story. My father, he is an ex-Marine
Okay.
and he is a boxer, and he got Golden Gloves in the Marines.
Okay.
So, from what I understand, I did not like the structure and how technical boxing was
Really?
as a kid. I love going in,
Kind of
somebody
flowy
strike. Yeah,
stuff.
I love the fluidity
Yeah.
of kung fu.
Yeah.
I loved it, and no one would expect it, you know, uh, because majority of the people that I grew up with, they had some type of boxing background,
Yeah.
and when I would come in with them, come in to spar with them, or if they like do the shadow boxing and stuff, they weren't really expecting me to not have to load up a punch, not have to twist my hips,
Yeah.
and base myself. I can move around them, but
Yeah.
like going back to my dad, since he was a boxer and he noticed that it wasn't what I wanted, he showed me how to fight a boxer. So, me knowing the martial art that I knew, and then me working with my dad, that that helped me.
Yeah.
So when it did come down to someone, that was a boxer coming up to me, because I've actually had a couple of boxers
Yeah.
call me up.
Surely you got into fights.
Oh yeah, 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 most
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, that's it's a no
So
brainer. But they didn't expect my techniques to
yeah. So how do you
overpower.
incorporate kung fu into like a street fight? If
Uh,
someone, if because like, and I'm just thinking like in high school, like we're all full of testosterone, we're all fighting,
yeah.
and like for me, I wrestled in high school, so like my natural tendency is I'm probably gonna like close the distance and like take you down and
Hmm.
start beating the shit out of you. But like if you're a boxer, your thing is I'm probably gonna box you.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you incorporate kung fu into like a fight like that?
Okay. With me, it's don't stop. That's one of the main things. Don't stop and use your power from each one of the strikes. It's not like fighting the same martial art as you're used to. So if I'm gonna use, let's say, if I'm gonna use my kung fu techniques, I'm not gonna dance around. I'm gonna use what's a strong technique. So me loading up on my punch, it could work. So me pulling back and then me basing myself and then throwing that punch. I mean, and adding a lot of power into that punch. Great, that's cool. But what can get me from point A to point B quicker?
Yeah.
Will I load up, throw this punch with another combination, with another series of other punches, or will I shorten it and then figure out a way to load up from my
Yeah,
body?
yeah, that's just bad form. If anybody loads up, they just suck.
Yeah,
You shouldn't load up. I mean, some people do if
you
you really have
shouldn't.
the time, but
But
if
you remember you said fight.
that's bad form.
So you said fight.
Yeah,
That person that
people do it
does,
though. You
yeah,
see it all the time.
people that are in a street fight, they don't do that. I mean,
Yeah,
they don't think about that.
yeah,
They're just the St. Louis mentality. You got the hands up, the pull the pants up, if you got that type of person, or the real wild ass haymakers.
see a lot of that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I mean they're powerful.
yeah.
So
But
how
if
do
you
you
go
do it?
straight down the fucking pipe, just
Right. And with me, with kung fu, I already have it in my head where you're gonna aim.
yeah,
You're not gonna aim right here. You're not gonna kick me. You're not gonna do anything like that. You're gonna try to
yeah,
knock me out.
yeah,
So with me knowing that this punch is going to come to my head. What do I need to do?
Yeah.
Pay attention to each one of those punches and find out where that punch is coming from. Punch is coming from the body. You got to end in the end is the fist. You know what I'm saying? You take out the body. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
You ain't got
Body
enough.
shots are vicious. Bro.
Hell yeah. So the thing is, I try to explain to a lot of my clients, man. You got the head. Why would you follow something this big during the whole course of the time that you're fighting? Go for the body. That's what you want to do. You go low, then you go high. That's the easiest way to do it. For me, I go low, then I go high.
Okay.
And if someone, and the other thing is, when I was younger, if you did get into a fight with me, and I got friends that talk about it all the time because I used to be called Kung Fu B. But if you got into a fight with me, expect the worst because I'm going to hurt you. And I'm going to make sure I hurt you because I don't want to get hurt. So if I'm aiming for something, I'm aiming for it and I'm going to stay with it. If you throw a punch at me, I understand what a punch is made out of. Out of 5 fingers. I have snapped fingers easily because I know it's coming at me. I mean, I eat the punch just to break a finger. So I can't eat another punch.
You're going to try to get their hand and break their finger?
Hell yeah. Because you can close a fist tight as hell. It's still not hard to pull one open. You know what I'm saying? It's really not. You can get one of these puppies out. I'm pretty sure you've had to do it in a clinch. You know what I'm saying? So have you ever had to do that? Try to kind of open it up?
Yeah. I mean, I guess, I don't know if it's from here, maybe. Yeah, I guess you could find a way.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, even in a chokehold, that was kind of that was another thing that I had an issue with. With MMA, for me and just me, I had an issue with the limitations, like of what I could do and what I couldn't. And it goes back to all the tournaments that I was in too, because I understand it's a sport,
right?
And that's my understanding. And if I know all these different types of martial arts, and then I go in and I'm limited to the amount of things that I can do, then
like what couldn't you do that you would have preferred to have done?
Oh man, pressure points. Under the shoulder,
the pressure point under the shoulder,
knuckle under the shoulders.
Why couldn't you do that?
It's Missouri. They pay attention. They pay attention.
How would they know that if you're just putting your hand there?
You got a ref. The ref standing right around you. So if okay, I got one. I was in I can't even remember the name of it. So
rear naked choke.
Rear naked. The gentleman, he didn't have it placed right. So I could move around a little bit.
Okay.
I was able to turn around belly on belly, and it was a point that he was basically he still had that. He was scared and he was nervous, but the more he pressed down, it was basically pushing me in. I tried to get up. I tried to base up, and I think I tried to flip him back over, but it was a point where I just felt like I could just put a knuckle in a rib. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even with the gloves on, it just felt right. Or a thumb in right here. These are pressure points that I learned.
Yeah.
But I know it's a sport.
I don't see why you couldn't do that. I don't know if those are illegal.
No, they're illegal. It's just like kicking in the nuts.
No, man, I've been around MMA for a long time, dude, and they'll tell you like you can't low blow, you can't hit to the back of the head. There's certain joints they don't let you attack. Like you can't like kick. Even then, you actually fucking can. Like you can't kick somebody in the head. You can't like knee a downed opponent.
Right, I actually got that on video.
You can't put your hand on like somebody's throat. There's no like eye gouging, no fish hooks. But like if you're just digging I dig knuckles in your face, bro. So if you like,
Really?
yeah,
No, man.
if you put a knuckle in somebody's rib, I don't know how it would be if you like were digging a thumb into a rib or something, but like if you're just digging a knuckle in something to a pressure point,
Yeah,
you can
man.
do that for sure, bro. Because
Missouri.
if I grab you and I put my thumb into you, you can't stop that.
What's stopping
That's
it?
that's
Yeah.
not illegal. You can do that for sure.
Because yeah, now I know in Missouri, when I was doing it, they were telling me that I couldn't do a knee to the head,
Yeah, you
no
can't do that.
elbows,
No elbows, not as an amateur.
no no. It's some type of joint lock that you couldn't do.
No heel. Well, sometimes you could do heel hooks. I thought you could do heel hooks. Um, you can't. No small joint manipulation.
Yes, that's it. I had a guy's foot. I had a guy's foot at one point in time,
Yeah.
and I was wrenching on it.
Were you wrenching on his toes?
No, no. I had the top part of his foot, so right here,
Yeah. You had an ankle lock.
and I was pulling back, and at right there, he patted my shoulder, and he's like, nope, and he kept doing that, and that
Hmm.
was downtown at the sports. Are you familiar with the downtown on Broadway?
Yeah, I
The
fought there before.
Okay.
I did Golden Gloves down there.
What's
That's
what's the name
interesting.
of it?
It's
It's
um,
the
it's like the Broadway Boxing Club, I do believe. Is that what you're talking about?
in Soulard.
Yeah.
It's in Soulard.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like a
right down.
little small.
Yeah, like they allow smoking in there and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's called the Broadway Boxing Club. I could be wrong,
I
but
have
I
to
know they do
ask.
Golden Gloves and shit down there. And they do like pro wrestling and stuff in there.
Okay, because that was one that they said I couldn't do.
Huh.
But honestly, it just felt I felt limited, man. I
Yeah.
really did. And granted, I didn't expect me to be jumping around doing all kinds of acrobatic shit, but you
Yeah.
know, even doing a lot of the Muay Thai, techniques, that was another thing that I was really not used to.
Muay Thai. Which part? The clinch or just?
No, 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 no. I'm speaking of the way that I fought in Muay Thai was not the way that I could fight in MMA. I can
Yeah.
easily say that because I was a striker. So with me being a striker, that meant elbows, that meant knees, in which I could do the knees, but
Right.
um,
It doesn't lend to MMA if you have just like a strict Muay Thai
right.
stance.
And don't forget that's how I went in doing it.
Yeah, because you'll get taken down.
Yeah, because they're the same as me. They don't like getting hit either.
Nobody likes to get hit, bro. That shit
Nah.
does not feel
Oh
good.
well, it's a few of them that do like getting hit. They
Some
don't
people it
mind.
turns them on.
Yeah,
like
dude,
the flip switches, the switch flips rather, and like they
Look.
will. It's like they're on now, and it's like, all right, let's fight, motherfucker.
No, bro,
They
that
like
shit turned me off.
Yeah.
So, but no, so when they would come in, they knew what to expect
Yeah.
in the ring. They knew that I was going to work them, and I was going to be really, really fast. So they had to figure out a
Yeah.
way to get me down. And if they got me down, it was a 50-50 chance because
Yeah.
man, jujitsu wasn't my thing,
Yeah.
and I respected to the fullest, but it just wasn't me at that time. I do still, I still do respect it, but that's not something that I incorporate in the self defense that I teach because I do a certain type of self defense. I
Okay.
work with law firms. So since I work with law firms, people that are going through harassment, sexual abuse, domestic battery cases, things like that, judicial system doesn't want to put them, doesn't consider them high risk. They'll hire me on. And if they're in between court cases, they have like a week, 2 weeks, couple of months, they hire me on.
And you just work with.
I work with them
Yeah.
privately. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So what I tend to do is I teach common sense techniques, and I try to simplify things to the point to where it's not super super technical, where people can actually use it. A lot of a lot of different studios or martial art places, they teach they teach the art form Okay. The art form is one thing, the technique is another. So when I do it, I'm teaching the technique, not the martial art. Because learning the martial art, that takes time. It's just like painting. It's literally just like painting, hence the word art. You get better and better over time. People need it now. So the rules of uh, of self defense it's kind of changed, in a way. It's not a thing of, okay, I need self defense. I'm going to go to this school. A lot of times people are getting fucked up, left and right.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a it's a no brainer. Every single time you look on the news, somebody's gotten attacked. Every single time you get on social media, somebody's gotten attacked, or
Yeah, man.
it,
Well, the thing is,
it's
dude,
a
people
lot.
who are getting attacked, like, oftentimes, like, if you don't know how to defend yourself, or like, there's just something about when you know how to defend yourself, and like, it gives you a certain confidence.
Yeah,
And then you like, if you display that, like, you're not like a soft target.
right,
You know what I mean? Like, there's just a certain way that you carry yourself. So, like, if you don't have that knowledge or that ability, unbeknownst to you, you probably kind of carry yourself a certain way,
right.
which a predator is most likely to, prey upon.
But this is the
It's
thing.
unfortunate for sure.
Yeah, this is the question. Where do you get that confidence?
You gotta train to fight, bro.
You
You
gotta
gotta learn to
train.
fight.
You gotta train.
You gotta
And
learn.
the first step is actually knowing that, hey, you know what? I might need something.
Yeah.
So besides me working with those people, because that's kind of not necessarily forced upon me, but it's it's a thing where they need me. The law firms need me. So I teach private lessons to the average person too. So when they come to me, hey, I got two daughters. I need you to teach them, and I'll be like, I can teach them. How about let me teach you too? You know, it's not a thing of, oh, I'm going to teach just this one person. No, if you feel comfortable enough for me to teach these daughters of yours self defense, let me teach you something too. Or just come into the studio and see what I'm doing, and maybe you can pick it up, and then maybe somebody else that you may know, you can show them. I'm not necessarily worried about me losing business. As long as there's violence in the world, hell, I'm unfortunately good. I would rather everyone reap the benefits of what I have to offer. It's not a thing of me chasing money. It's a thing of me showing somebody my abilities and showing somebody my talent and being able to use my talent to benefit them,
Yeah.
in the long run and benefit their families. I had at one point in time, I had a student that she was getting abused by the boyfriend, and the mom got in contact with me to teach her, and
Teach the daughter
the
or the
daughter,
mom. Okay.
teach the daughter. Now, I get that you're concerned about your daughter, but what about you? If you have this idea that it's a possibility that your daughter may get hurt or injured, injured during the time that they're in this relationship, or she's trying to get out of this relationship, what do you do? Are you just gonna sit back and just let that happen? I mean, let the daughter get taught, or are you gonna come in too?
What if they know how to fight? They're just not. They just don't have the bandwidth to teach the kid how to fight. That's what they need
It
you.
always start with a what if. I mean, it's but that's the thing. You don't know, and obviously, you getting in contact with me, you need something.
Yeah.
Something's missing. You know, a lot of families, when it a lot of self defense came from families teaching their children. Dads, moms, teaching them how to defend
Yeah.
themselves.
It's been passed down
Yeah, it
through
was passed down.
generations. Yeah.
that got lost somewhere.
Oh yeah, we're not warrior people like
No.
we used to be. We still have a small class, but even then though, I wonder how many people really were warriors back in the day. I wonder,
Yeah.
like, I mean, society is society.
Well, I can't even say just having a like having that warrior's mentality, just protecting what you got, you
You
know? I
should know
mean,
it
yeah,
for
just
sure.
something.
You don't want to be out there being a victim.
Yeah, and that's why I try to simplify
Yeah.
how I teach because of the simple fact we don't have that protective mentality, where you're just like, oh dude, don't fuck with my family or don't take this from me. I'm gonna make sure that I give you everything I got. They
Yeah.
don't have nobody has that. So
Yeah. So your philosophy is just really geared towards, like, when teaching these martial arts, it's just more focused on, like, when we're talking about the self defense aspect of it, is to help these people learn just the most simple, effective techniques that
yeah,
they can immediately implement
yeah, and
and
then later on, then I start teaching more elaborate things.
start layering in the
Yeah,
things.
so it it has to start simple because when you take a class of mine, as soon as you walk in, you're going to learn something. As soon as you walk out, you're going to have some type of confidence backing it,
Yeah.
because you feel confident in what you just learned.
Is that where the name logic
Yeah,
martial arts comes from?
yep,
It's just, like, very logical.
yep, yep. That's exactly where it comes from. Everything has a starting point and everything has an ending, and that's the way I see it. Um, if you can hurt yourself just by walking through the house randomly, bump into a table, you know,
Stub that pinky toe.
yeah,
Bro, I almost
step
ripped
on
my
the Lego.
fucking pinky off the other day.
See, you can do something so jacked up to your own self.
Yeah.
Why should it be that hard to hurt another person? You see what I'm saying? If and you go off a pain scale. Well, I go off a pain scale from 1 to 10. Pinching a person, maybe it's a 3. The other person might be a 5. Your main objective is to get that person to 13. Okay, so
Past the point.
past the point,
Yeah.
and that's what ends it. It's
Yeah.
not a thing of you discussing it, with the assailant. It's getting that person to the point to where all they can think about is protecting themselves.
Hmm.
Okay, so you guys throwing hands, going at it, punching, 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 left, right, left, right, left, right, kicking, whatever. That's cool. All right, you're gonna get hurt. You're gonna have something. But why are you still throwing punches? Apparently, it don't hurt that much. Break somebody's finger, can't close a fist,
Yeah.
can't throw a punch. A person walk up to you. What's one of the main things that they do? A whole bunch of that. It has a starting point, then it has an ending. This is St. Louis. You know, big thing is about a lot of St. Louisans is we have to start it off with that. That's what I remember.
Hmm.
And that's what I'm used to, especially me being a bouncer. Man, you ain't gonna do shit. So and so, whoop de wop, doing all this stuff. And I'm like, dude, you gotta go. I ain't going nowhere on blood or on crip or on set, whatever. I don't care. But they would do that, and you notice that I smile a lot too. So, do you think that was a good thing or a bad thing for
Probably
me?
pissed them off.
Oh man, it was horrible.
Sitting there smiling in their face.
Yeah. So, what do? You simplify it. If that person is standing in front of you and they're ready for you, step on their foot, push them back, stay on that foot. I don't know. I might hear a slide and I might hear a pop. Broken
At least,
ankle, can't run.
at the very least, get them off balance.
Yeah, you get them
Yeah.
off balance while you literally standing on a foot. Guess what? Even if it doesn't mess up that ankle, and I've done this. My wife, she used to come to the clubs while I used to. Well, she was my fiance at the time. Used to come to the clubs while I was working as a bouncer. She's seen it, so
Yeah.
I step on that foot, push them straight back. I mean, not a no. I'm
Forceful.
yeah, real push. Stay on it. The foot ain't gonna go nowhere. The foot is made to be planted down. It's not made to lift up. um, from the ankle. So stay on it. I hear a slide, hear a pop. Sometimes, hell, you can hear it over the music sometimes. I've done it twice.
Hmm.
And dude falls and shit can't go nowhere. You know, the other thing is if that doesn't work, the hip's gonna pop out. You're gonna injure your hip because your body's trying to compensate for that weight being being off.
Yeah, with all
You-
that force.
oh my God, it's horrible
Hmm.
because as soon as you move back, you're gonna try to step back.
Yeah.
That don't
If
work.
you're not in shape, you're gonna fuck something up for
Yeah,
sure.
something gonna happen. But yeah, stuff like that, man.
I think about I'm gonna poke someone in the eye if I
Yeah,
get. I'm not fucking around with you. I'm just gonna poke you in the eye and probably walk away.
if something flew in your eye, what happens? It hurts.
Oh, dude, you immediately like just you close your eyes, you squint them, and if you get poked, dude,
Oh
that's
yeah, it's
I start
horrible.
watering. This shit is tough, dude. It's hard to recover.
But when I'm
It's easy to
saying,
get a finger in there.
oh hell yeah. So a lot of times with and these are like my very first classes. Those are some of the main things that I show. I'm like,
Okay.
hey, you can teach you three things and you'll feel confident as hell. Motherfucker ain't gonna fuck with you.
It
They walk
helps
up on you, poke your ass in your eyes. Four fingers, one of these is guaranteed
to
to
get in.
go in.
Yeah.
Not this, one of these.
So yeah, throw it
All of
all
them.
in there.
But if you can thump yourself and you think about this, use your imagination. If you had your eyes wide open, somebody walked over to you, hey, what's up, bro? And just thumped you directly in the eye. How painful would that be?
That hurt.
Okay. Now, I'm not saying that that's a self-defense technique. I'm just saying you know how that feels. All your eyes are two jelly-filled orbs. That's it. These can get damaged so quickly and so permanently to where it will end everything. If you understand these little small things can get damaged and and it can cause such a great problem, why in the hell would you sit there and ball your fists up and try to hit somebody on a continuously when you know this can injure a lot more than striking a person?
Yeah.
It doesn't sit well with me sometimes with me being a self-defense instructor. If I'm in a altercation, especially with me being the age that I am, first off, I shouldn't have a problem with anyone with me being in my 40s. That's young shit.
So why are we having issues right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can probably get out of this situation.
Yeah, exactly. But if it comes down to the point to where I am ready to put hands up, that means that person is dead serious. There's a point of no return.
Mm-hmm.
So the last thing I'm thinking about is throwing some kicks, throwing some punches. I plan on hurting this person to the point to where they can't hurt me.
You want to stop them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I don't see it ending well for me. If someone's willing to inflict harm on you, that means that they're willing to they're willing to go the extra mile. You know, what's their stopping point? You don't really know.
You don't, especially if they've been taking drugs or something.
Yeah.
They might not have one.
So why would you take the risk in doing this?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Let's try to end as fast as
Let's
possible.
let's end it, man. So
Effective.
you can go home because you doing all this acrobatic, all these elaborate things, and at the end of the day, it's not that damn hard for that person to be like, I'll be right back, and then sit there and pop
Yeah,
you.
dude.
So
Yeah.
I'm allergic to bullets.
I
I'm
think,
sorry.
Yeah, I think as a society, people have we're so far removed from like just hard things. Like on a day to day, like life's pretty easy. Instant gratification. You don't have to like go hunt for your food. You don't have to you're not fighting with anybody for
Right.
resources.
And you shouldn't.
Right.
You shouldn't have to.
It's great that we're there, but we're almost like we're so far gone. We're like, obesity is such a big issue
Yeah.
in our country. You know, not many people are very healthy. Not many
Mm.
people like to push themselves and challenge themselves.
Right. Right.
And you know, we like to watch fighting on TV, and you're just so far removed from the difficult aspect. And then we live in such a great place to where it's like, you know, we're pretty safe, you know, to go do things. You know what I mean? Like, I don't got to worry about anybody like kicking in my fucking door right now.
Yeah.
And like with the military takeover, you know, like some places. But that safety is also an illusion,
Yeah.
and
It's a big illusion.
it creates complacency, right? And that's where people are so far removed as a society.
Hmm.
Like, we watch fighting, you watch fighting, and you see people get hit, and those shots don't look like they hurt. Like, you're not
Yeah.
feeling those. You're like, oh, cool, yeah,
It's
man, cool.
entertainment.
You
It's
don't
true
you
entertainment
don't
for
think it
everyone.
hurts. We watch football. You don't think that shit. Those people have fucking headaches for 3 days after that.
Hmm.
Like, we forget. We're so far removed.
Well, since we are, and
But that
since,
shit hurts.
like,
Like, to your point, flick on the
yeah,
fucking
man,
eye hurts,
you
man.
sit there and tag somebody in the nose, just like flick the nose or something. It hurts.
We forget, man.
And like I was telling you, it's not hard to hurt a human being. It's really not.
No.
You can get a Q-tip, you can go in your ear, get the earwax out, and you're like, oh shit, my eardrum. That hurts. It's how badly can you hurt a person to the point to where they can't do anything to you. And just what you were saying with everyone's gotten so comfortable with watching a lot of these fights and thinking nothing hurts. Those are the biggest critics, the ones that don't know. I've heard people, they're like, man, you lost that fight, man, dude, that's fucked up, dog. So I'm like,
Because people who know they don't respond that
they will
way.
never respond that way. But I'll be like, dude, you ain't ever in your life gonna sit there and walk in a cage.
You're
As
so exposed.
Oh, hell yeah. As soon as that cage door closes, that is one of the craziest experiences ever.
You're elevated.
Oh,
You're half naked. All these people are around.
man.
You got assholes yelling at you. They're right next to the
Yep.
cage.
Yep.
It's cold in there. It's
Sometimes.
usually a little chilly in there, dude. It's just this other guy staring at you all fucking mean, and he's probably scared
Everybody
too.
already
You
drunk
got the
around
ref
you.
in
Yeah.
there. People are drunk, dude. I've fought in places before where they allowed smoking. That
Yeah.
sucks too.
Yeah.
You got smoke in the air sometimes.
Sparta, Illinois. It was at one of the shit. It was right off the highway at one of the hotels at the time. They had allowed smoking, and
Dude,
then the one over in
sucks. Fire makes it hard to breathe.
was it like Spruce? Not Spruce. It was another one in Belleville,
Okay.
Illinois. They
Yeah.
allowed it too. It was like a dining hall or something like that.
Yeah, dude.
I couldn't handle it,
It
dog.
sucks,
It was
man.
horrible.
It sucks.
But yeah,
been
man.
there.
Like I say, man. Back to you talking about the rent. But yeah, man. People get so used to seeing it, and then if, like I was telling you, simplifying it, those ones that actually go in willing to, fight, whether it's MMA, kickboxing, whether it's Salat, Kung Fu, karate, Taekwondo, all of those are those groups that honestly still have it, that are actually showing people that, hey, you know what, we can do things. We can show that we're capable of performing extraordinarily. Instead of just sitting in the house. Watching. What you do. Watching these fights. Criticizing people about certain ways that they fight, or hell, even playing football. You got guys that are big critics on football, basketball. Ain't never walked in the damn.
Everyone's a critic.
Yeah, ain't never walked in a court on a court. Ain't never walked on a field.
Yeah.
But they'll talk shit. They'll talk shit
Oh,
all
yeah.
about the guy. But I have respect for all the martial arts. I have respect for anyone willing to learn. I have respect for anyone having an idea, of saying, maybe I could do it. First step is saying, maybe I could. That's the first step. Second step is picking up the damn phone, looking around, researching,
Yeah.
and then third step is saying, hey, show me something,
Yeah. Starts with a
Yeah.
thought, ends with an
Starts
action.
with it. Same reason I started, man. Lady, real good friend of mine, man. She was like, hey, you know, you have so many great ideas, but you always scare yourself out of them. And that's why that was the other boost of me starting to teach. She was like, you need to stop scaring yourself out of success.
Yeah.
And I was
Have the
like,
belief.
huh, maybe. And then sure enough, I got on Facebook. I was like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Now
be
you
so
believe that you can do it.
yeah,
Dude, how long? So how long you been? 10 years now,
yeah,
right?
man, yeah.
Dude, so you just all day just think about fucking fighting. You're just like, how can I put together this choreographed scene for a movie, or how can I teach this person how to like not die? You're just you just live in that headspace of like, man, the world's so fucking dangerous, but I gotta make this fight scene look super cool.
Well,
you just
not
think about
anymore.
fighting.
I think about food, man. Shit,
Yeah, dude, we live in a good city for it, man. We're,
bruh.
we're like a little hidden gem for the culinary scene, bro. It's
Oh
not
my
like
God.
so massive that somebody can't come in and do some shit, but like we have a lot of really good
Dude,
food spots, dude. It's a hidden gem,
I'm a
bro.
food
Like
nut,
people
dude.
don't realize, man.
So if you put a hamburger and then you put a martial art tournament in front of me, it's like,
It's like you're in heaven,
yeah,
dude. Have
dog.
you been to Max Local Eats?
No, no,
I have
no, no.
not been there yet. It's like the next one on my list for like
Yeah.
burgers. Yeah, they're downtown. I think in South City, but they look
Okay.
they look delicious. They're down by I think
My studio's
by
downtown.
Limp
Yeah.
Brewery.
Okay.
I think
I
so,
have to
but
check them out,
I've been
man.
wanting to check them
I'm a
out.
burger person, dude. I
Dude, I
love
fucking
burgers.
love them.
I love it
That's my
because
shit.
I know I like burgers and I like sushi.
Oh
So
yeah,
those
I
are
like
my
sushi.
two favorite things,
I
man.
can dig it. I don't. Well, I don't think so. If I think of like, I wouldn't pair. I get why you're saying that. I think of like burgers and pizza are like my favorite,
Yeah.
like just like bad foods, quote unquote bad. You get. I think some burgers are pretty healthy. I
Oh
don't really
yeah.
do a lot of
I
buns.
like bison burgers.
Oh yeah,
Bison burgers are great.
yeah.
Bison
But
burgers
yeah,
are
I'll
the
fuck up
deal.
some sushi.
I
Just,
who's that Black Market Eats? They sell we had that's one on Vendor. They
okay.
have a sushi burrito.
Yeah.
And I don't
You liked it?
I do. I
Did
do.
you?
It's I mean, it just depends on how I get it made. It's
Yeah.
kind of pricey, but
I've only had it one time. I wasn't a fan.
no.
It was just so big, and I don't know, like my I have a little bit more of a tolerance, but I'm not a big fan of the seaweed wrap, which is weird
Okay.
because like I'll
Okay.
eat roasted seaweed,
Yeah.
like I like seaweed. It's just for some reason that wrap that they use on is maybe it's just the texture. I'm not a big fan of
I
seaweed wrap
do
on my
know what you're
sushi.
saying. It's
And
it's
that was
it's
a
really
big
gummy.
ass wrap, and it's super thick. It's hard to bite through. It does get kind of gummy.
Yeah.
I didn't. It's just not my shit,
I tear
man.
it up, bro.
Dude.
I mean, like,
I can
dude,
dig it. I don't hate on it. I
like,
like poke bowls. That's my
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Poke is my
Pokey
shit.
Dokie, yeah,
Poke
over
dokie down there.
in the
Yeah,
loop, man.
yeah,
My
that's a good
wife
one.
loves that, man. But yeah, shit. That's all me. Like I said, you can put those two things in front of me. I'm gonna choose the food first, okay, and then I might look over there at the tournament because I don't know, man. I don't think about it. I don't think about either as much as I used to because I used to
Just
think
obsess
about it.
over
Oh
it.
my God, I used to be on it, dude. Who I used to want to be like was Van Damme. I
Yeah,
used to always want to be like
that
Van
was like
Damme.
your motivation.
Punch pause, punch pause, punch pause. And I used to always want to be like that. Yeah, and then I thought about it. I was like, dude, what could I do with the martial arts? I didn't see myself being in films and stuff like that. I just didn't. But
Right.
I did see myself doing something. But I knew so many different things, outside of martial arts to where I was like, damn, maybe I'm steering towards, something else and maybe just martial arts would just be, you know, something that I know, like a lot of people that I know, they have a martial arts background, but one's an accountant, another person's not a lawyer but a paralegal.
That's most people, right?
Yeah,
It's just something you
yeah,
do. It's not typically a career.
right. Which is good because it's not supposed to be shown. A lot of times, it's not supposed to be presented to everybody. If you're a martial artist, you don't have to show everybody that you know something. But with me, I I wanted to showcase it. I wanted to show people, hey man, check out this kick. Check out these. 'Cause I used to be able to do splits really really well. And yeah, check these out. And they're like, man, you gonna mess your balls up. I'm like, shut up.
Fuck yourself up,
I
bro.
can still do them though.
Can you? Can you do the
But,
splits?
oh no, shit. I don't know if I can do them now. I can
Yeah.
kick my ass off.
Yeah, I'm sure you may like you retain some sort of like hip dexterity just
Oh
from
yeah,
all the
yeah. I
years.
got a
So
great range.
you're
Hell
better
yeah.
than the average person.
Oh hell yeah, yeah, man. I got an amazing range. I
Yeah,
just
just not doing those splits, those Van
no.
Damme splits anymore.
One thing that I just stopped. I stopped doing like really really stretching extensively. I stopped doing it when I noticed that my kicks weren't as accurate. That was kind of one of the things that the
Wow,
reasons I stopped.
kind of like overstretched a little
Yeah,
bit, then have the
and I couldn't
yeah.
quite gauge, okay, maybe I'm doing it too much.
Hmm.
Maybe I'm not. So when I did do anything, they'd ask me, "Hey man, go ahead and stretch out." I'm like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm cool."
Yeah, I've already.
Yeah, what's the saying? Does a cheetah stretch before taking down a gazelle? No, they don't.
They
So
just do
they
that.
just do it. And shoot, later
Built for
on,
this. Built for this, bro.
so later on, I mean, during the time, they're like, "Damn, this kid's on point," doing it, pop, 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 doing all the kicks and stuff. And
Yeah.
then after, I fucked up. I got ibuprofen. I got all kinds of stuff in me, dude. Ibuprofen, wine, all kinds of stuff, dude. So
Bro, I was just telling somebody today, man. I've been
need
training
it.
this. Yeah, I was training. I trained this young fighter, and he's in his 20s. He's like 21,
Okay.
22. I'm like, bro, people tell you, but you don't know until you experience it.
Yeah.
It just takes 1 or 2 more days to recover in your
Yeah.
30s, and even probably
Hell
like
yeah.
start getting older. I'm like, damn, I don't recover as fast as I used to. I don't like this
Man,
shit.
think about being a stunt. Think about me doing the stunts.
It's hard on your
Dude,
body.
I got thrown down some steps 7 times.
No, thank you.
And through the whole time, I heard the director, man, it look good. Hey, okay, y'all, let's try another
Let's do
angle.
that again.
Yeah, I'm like, no, don't try another angle. This look great. So I'm getting thrown down these steps, man, and I'm
It's like,
like,
can we just get
fuck,
7 cameras and get every angle at once?
dude, right? I'm like, man, y'all could just have it follow me, dude. Just give me about 3 cameras, put them on my back, and just give me a
Yeah.
GoPro,
Yeah.
just see what happened.
Wow, let's get creative, but you can't keep throwing
Yeah,
me down these
man.
damn
Shoot,
stairs.
I was done for almost a month. I
It's
swear,
hard on the
man, my
body,
body
bro.
was, oh, it was shot.
You only take so much.
Yeah, so I mean, so from that, I think I take more wear and tear on my body doing the choreography, the stunts and stuff than I did when I was doing the tournaments.
I can believe it.
Because in film, what's crazy is you can do the techniques and do the choreographed scenes uh, once really really well, twice really really well, third time really well. Over time, it's going to decrease the quality of it, and each time someone's saying, "Okay, that was good. Let's try a different angle." Okay, will that sell? Yes, it will sell, but let's do something for safety. And safety means, you know, let's make sure we have that shot, just have another shot just in case.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
And depending on the budget,
Yeah,
they'll dictate how much they're able to allocate towards safety.
man. So
It's like, damn, do we have this medic on set or don't we?
right, and a lot of the choreography that I've done, it's local. So as far as the budget goes, it's out of their own pockets.
Hmm.
So.
Yeah, so you guys are just making it
Yeah,
happen.
I'm like, now I can choose. I'm like, nah, bro, we ain't doing another safety. You got one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've learned through the years that I have control because I'm like,
Got
dude,
to. You gotta take care.
because man,
You gotta
it's
take care of
got
that body,
crazy.
man.
And it one of the what I'm trying to say, one of the points that I was getting at was you got more wear and tear on your body doing this than the tournaments. Through all these years of me being in martial arts, I never once got my nose broke.
Really
Yup,
nice.
I got my nose broke doing choreography.
Really? That happens.
Dude.
Jackie Chan broke his nose a lot
Yeah, I know.
doing all these stunts and shit.
His choice. Shit.
I mean, you kind of choosing it too, bro.
I know, man.
If you're in there.
God, but it was so crazy, dude. Because like I say, I'm fast. I'm
Yeah.
fast. I'm quick. I can see things a lot quicker than the average person. So I'm gonna move out the way. In choreography, you got step here, throw this punch, do your thing, and then you go back to the cinematographer and you take a look at it, see if it's sold. Then cool. Every once in a while, you might get a person that thinks they know everything. Then you might get some that will say, "I don't know anything. Show me," or they just might just make a mistake. Mistakes always happen. I got one that thought he knew everything.
Oh, those are the
Man,
worst.
dude. I said, man, step here, man. I got it, man. Don't worry about that. And step here, throw that punch, man. You'll be about a foot away from me, and then we'll be good. That arm would have been about a foot away from me.
Right. Because through angles and different things and your reaction, movie magic.
Bruh, I walked down them steps, and I saw him step over that tape. I couldn't stop stepping, and I was like, oh, no.
And
And,
walked into it.
dude, and what it
Oh, that's the
sounded like
worst.
in my head, it literally sounded like somebody got a wooden board, a wooden cutting board, and just knocked on it.
Oh, just whack.
Oh man, I was like, what just happened? I saw one drop, I
Yeah.
saw two drops, and then it was a stream.
Yeah.
Dude, it felt like he took my brain juice, dude. I was
Did you
like,
have to reset your nose or was
oh
it?
yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah. It's. I still have a piece of cartilage that's poking this way in my
Hmm.
nose, and they say you're not supposed to blow your nose during
Yeah.
when
When
you
you do
break
that,
it. I fucked up. So,
I know I've
but
been there.
the production was huge. It was a nice production. They had stuff on the outside of the house, lights shooting into this home and everything. It
Hmm.
was dope. So when stuff like that happens, everyone on the crew looks like, oh fuck, we gotta shut down. Because I was one of the main characters.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, yeah. So
Dang.
I'm like, man,
That's a
I
bummer.
had to.
Oh, people are mad at that guy.
Oh, they were hot. So
I would have fired
I
him.
went into the kitchen, and well, he was one of the other actors, and
Was he a main character though?
kinda, yeah,
Oh,
because he
okay.
he ended up.
We're recasting this shit.
Yeah, right, yeah, because
Anyway.
it was about, I think it was almost 2 o'clock in the morning, bro. Yeah, it was about 2 o'clock in the morning, man. I walked in the bathroom and I grabbed a whole bunch of paper towels and I just, and I shot it all out. It was cartilage, blood everywhere in this paper towels, and it lasted for a good 15 minutes. And I pushed some tissue all the way up and some paper towels all the way up in there, and I went ahead and did. The whole cast looked at me like, "Is he serious? For
Mhm.
real? All right, okay, let's keep going."
Let's roll.
After that, man, that really boosted me up. Like, dude ain't playing. But in my head, I'm like, dude, I want to get paid.
Get even.
I want to get my shit.
Go ahead and accidentally stomp him in the face on the way down.
Dude, he was
What
he was
now,
nervous
bitch?
that whole time.
Because he didn't want to get his ass kicked. Just like when you're
Dude.
a little kid and you're afraid to go home because you're about to get in trouble.
And in my head, I didn't
It's
even
like,
have
oh,
an
shit.
idea of like I'm gonna give him what I feel. I didn't have that in my head. I was just more upset at the fact that I got hit. I was like, damn, dude, all you had to do was just step on the tape. That
Just,
was it.
just fall. Yeah, man. Stay on your mark.
Yeah, but I've gotten hit. I've gotten stabbed. I've
On a movie?
yeah, I got stabbed,
Oh, this
and
shit's hard on your body. You getting thrown
yeah, man.
downstairs, you getting
So
stabbed, getting hit,
I'm
fucking breaking
like,
your nose.
yeah. So and then I had to do you know what a spinning back kick is, right?
Hmm.
I had to do a spinning back kick, and I think I reached 15. I think I did it 15 times,
Yeah.
and I'm like, look, if I do it again, it's gonna get lower, lower,
I'm gonna kick someone in the
and
nuts.
lower, and somebody's about to get hit
Yeah.
because the scene was not going over my shoulder where I was doing the spinning back kick, and you could see the foot go across. it was them following my foot to fall down.
Okay.
So if I would have went lower, it would have got him in the neck.
Kicked him in the neck or
Yep,
the head or
right.
yeah.
So it made it more dangerous. But you had a director, and he was like, "Oh man, it looks good." He had no clue about martial arts.
Well, and just the
You
body
know,
fatigues,
yeah.
man. You
Oh
can only
hell yeah.
get so many reps in, and then
I'm
it's
like,
just
dude,
diminishing returns.
y'all ain't
So
got it yet.
yeah,
Like, come on, man. I'm hot. I got a mask on. I got just it was a lot, man. But I wouldn't trade it for anything.
yeah.
I love what I do. From teaching self defense to doing the fight choreography, doing the stunts and stuff. I mean, I have a great time. I meet a lot of people. I get a chance to travel every once in a while before COVID. But
Right, right.
I have in my studio, I use it as a production studio too, a multimedia studio. So I've had people come in use it for movies.
Oh, dope.
So I got a rooftop. I got a big rooftop, cinematic rooftop. Looks like any city in the United States. So you can make it
That's
look like
sick.
New York. And
That's sick.
yeah, so it's cool, man. And then I got movie set walls in my studio, so you can move them around. You can create your own
Dang.
idea of
I'm
what
gonna
you.
come check out your
Yeah,
studio, bro, for
I
sure.
would like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's they've had talk shows done there. I've had a talk show done there. No, two. Then I've had music videos. As a matter of fact, one of the people, Bodine, he's done.
Shout out,
Yeah,
Powerful Bodine.
yes, my man, it's my dude. So yeah, I've had him do a video there. Then I've had let's see what else. Um, an insane asylum has been created there. A whole bunch of fight scenes have been
Yeah.
done there. Then yeah, it's just open area, man. It's just like
Dope.
it's cool, man. I like it. For the average person, looking for a business, it doesn't look the best for them. But if a cinematographer came in, they were looking at it and they're like, "Oh, dude, it's so
Dude,
much
that's that
shit."
movie magic,
Yeah,
man. Through
man.
lighting and editing,
Oh,
you just make things
every
happen.
time I walk in, dude, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Every single time. Every time I go to work, dude, I'm just happy because
Yeah. Well, you're following your passion,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
You
exactly.
seem to have stumbled upon it.
Yeah,
Took a lot of years, but
it did.
now you're killing it.
But
Doing your thing.
I see it as I've had a lot of jobs in my lifetime,
Yeah.
and for me to actually be able to find something that I can be passionate about, and and people care
Yeah.
about what I'm doing, and me being able to help the St. Louis community out, it makes me feel great,
Yeah.
because I've worked with schools. I teach wellness, wellness and meditation to a lot of the students. Some of the staff. I've worked with University City. I've worked with Hazelwood. I've worked with Sumner. I've worked with
Nice.
the Boys and Girls Club. I've taught archery
Yeah.
because
Oh, dope.
yeah,
Well, you're like leaving a true legacy, dude.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
So I love doing things like that. I've worked with the Urban League Schnooks, So and I don't look back like you know these are the people that I've worked with, and check me out. I know they'll remember what I've offered to them.
Yeah.
It's not a me bragging and boasting. It's me being able to show what a person from St. Louis can do,
Yeah.
and not just settle for the same thing over and over and over and over, generation to generation to generation. You know, I was never a person that could play basketball. I was never a person that could play baseball. I'm a martial artist. You know, that's it. I'm a martial artist, and I want to show you what martial arts can bring into the community. And this is what it can do from film, self defense, meditation, wellness, just wellness in general, and bringing a positive uh, outlook on life. It's a confidence builder, and all those things work, especially now when we definitely need it. We need confidence, we need positivity. dealing with COVID. You know, it's a lot. 2020 has been a mofo. And I just I don't like thinking about the negative, but negative things, but it's there. Negativity won't ever leave, but you have to overpower it with positivity. And with me, I feel like I'm doing my part. You know,
Yeah.
um, I've during this time during the beginning of COVID, I've already lost four of my clients to COVID. And that was hard on me, and I was scared that I was going to have to shut down my shop. But luckily, people started getting in contact with me, asking me if I still did it. They needed something to do, because they were nervous about these gyms, and I get it because you got so many people, you don't know what they're bringing to your studio or what they're bringing to that gym.
Yeah.
You know, that's nerve wracking if you're a person that actually gives a shit. That can wear you down. You talking about fatigue. That's a big thing that wears a person down. Worrying.
Yeah. Mental fatigue.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So many of these gyms in St. Louis were always like open. People weren't wiping down the facility. I mean the equipment and stuff. And those people knew. They were like, dude, if I go back, there's no telling if they're gonna wipe this shit down.
Yeah.
They're supposed to, but then you don't know if that person that was using the stuff was out partying that night, the night before. You don't know if
Yeah.
they're around or if they don't give a shit about wearing a mask or not.
Yeah. A lot of worries for sure, man.
Yeah.
A lot of worries. You just don't know. So.
So it's a big deal. And so at my studio, I try to stay how I was teaching, which is privately,
Yeah.
and I'm always one on one. I make sure I check the temperature. You come in, you wear a mask. I got open space, so I'll run down the hallway with Lysol. I got one in this hand. I got the other one down here, and I'm like,
You're catching it all.
man, dude. I'm telling you, bees. I got a family. I got a
Yeah.
5-year-old and I got a 14-year-old. I got a wife. I got two dogs, and I love them.
Yeah.
I can't imagine myself going home with something.
Right.
And I don't want to take that risk, but at the same time, I want to make sure that the other person that's there is safe too.
Right.
And
Taking all the
yeah,
precautions.
even with the film companies, the production companies that come in, I've had a few of them come in with their COVID tests. And
Yeah.
I mean,
There's definitely a safe way to do it. You
yeah,
know what
there
I
is.
mean? It's definitely it's trying times, man.
Yeah, man.
It's trying
And
times.
this is the new norm, and I'm I'm dealing with it.
Yeah.
But when you don't pay attention to that, that's when it goes south real quick. Especially being a business owner, you dealing with the public.
Yeah, you gotta cover your own ass
Oh
just from
man.
a legal standpoint.
And since I'm downtown, you got so many people walking up and down the streets,
Yeah.
coughing and doing all this stuff, and while I'm over here like,
Just stay away from you.
like, dude, it gets bad. I'm like, the guys be like, hey man, you gotta, no, I don't, stop, go,
That's funny.
but yeah, man, I pay attention. I pay attention now, and,
Yeah.
and just try to be safe. Yeah.
So if somebody wants to train with you, how can they check you out?
I'm not hiding. That's for sure.
Yeah. Where should they go to? Is it Logic Martial
Yeah,
Arts on Instagram? Logic Martial
yeah.
Arts on
You can go under
Facebook?
Brian Logic Martial Arts, BRIN. Ever since they changed the I guess what algorithm or whatever, it's Brian Logic Martial Arts on Facebook, and on Instagram it's Logic Martial Arts.
Okay.
And I got rid of my website years ago,
Yeah.
and that's what I've been working off of, just
Facebook and Instagram.
Facebook and Instagram,
You can do
dude.
a lot through those.
Yeah, and then if you need to get in contact with me through email, it's logicmartialarts@gmail.com.
At Gmail.
Yep.
And I'll put that in the show notes so people
Yeah,
can
man.
check it out,
I
man.
appreciate it. And
But
my studio, like I was telling you, I'm a private self-defense instructor. Each one of the classes is 1 hour. If you want it longer, that's entirely up to you. But I understand. I'm a 24-hour instructor too.
Oh
People
shit.
do not get it when I tell
Midnight,
them,
baby.
"Oh,
Brian's
dude,
there.
2:35 in the morning."
Yeah.
No joke, because
Just up doing it.
people need self-defense. They need it. One of my clients is a nurse at Barnes Jewish Hospital, and they get off 1:30.
Yeah.
Then I've had some at 3 o'clock, and they work for UPS or, and they need it. They
You
have,
catering to everybody.
yeah, man. So, and this
Yeah.
is all I do. So
Yeah.
it's not a thing, man. Dude, you be working your head. No, it's me.
It's your lifestyle.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
if you have a class at that late, I can get up 1 or 2 days out of the week and help you out. That's not a
Yeah.
problem, because when you're at work, everyone else is at a dojo at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock at night.
Right. Right. Yeah. Those most of those people tend to have to miss out.
Yeah.
So, dude, that's dope,
So
man.
yeah, I do it 24 hours, man. So if anybody needs me, I'm there. And my studio, it's gated. It's very secure. I lock the gate. And especially for my clients that are going through the law firms,
Yeah.
that's one of the main things.
Right
And
on.
I'm located on 1210 Washington Ave, right near the corner of Tucker,
Oh, right on.
downtown. So
I'm downtown at least once or twice a week, so I'll come
okay,
check you
yeah,
out.
man.
Yeah.
So yeah, give me a call. You can reach me at my office number is 314-594-7340. I really remember it.
It's all
But
good.
then they can get in contact with me through my cell. It's 618-304-9568. Like I say, I'm not hiding from anybody. It's
Yeah.
not a thing of me.
They'll find you for
Yeah,
sure.
they'll find me. So I try to stay on a positive note.
So,
Yeah.
well, Brian, dude, thanks again, man. I
No, man,
appreciate you
ain't no
taking time,
problem, man.
brother.
Most
All right,
definitely, most
man.
definitely.
All right, everybody. Till next time.